But is this the best place to stand? Because I'm in focus. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is going to be me talking through the gear I'm using this year, because I think it's good to document the gear in which you use. Let's start by talking about the gear which I'm using for this video. So I'm wearing a Rode Link wireless set that is you're hearing from me, that's going into a GH5. So that set, cheaper set, but it's the main lavalier mics I use, and they've been pretty much flawless, outside of maybe a couple of, in couple of issues with just other radio frequencies around the time. So whenever you are going to go into a new location, just make sure that your mic's channels are on their own channel so that there isn't any interference or etc. And we're also shooting on a GH5 with a Sigma 18-35 at f1.8. So this is actually around f2, but the lens itself can stop down or stop up, depending on which way you think about it, of all the way to f1.8, and that's shooting on the GH5 as I said, and the it's a Nikon mount, Sigma 18-35, because I use it for photography and time-lapse photography as well, but it is obviously adapted to the GH5, and all the links to the gear I'll put in the description down below. And it's on a Manfrotto Video Pro head, on the Manfrotto 190 Pro legs as well, the aluminium version. I'm going to be upgrading these soon to the carbon fiber ones. I'm being lit by an Aperture AF-ZX, so a little box light on a very cheap light stand, but it does the job. And yeah, so that's this setup, and I'm gonna now spin the camera just over to the lock box, or the case or hard case that I'm using to hold most of my equipment, and we're going to talk through some of the other gear which I am using at the moment. So this is what I was using in the last time we did this kind of review, was a Low Pro rucksack. The main reason why I changed from a rucksack to a hard case is because I value my back, and yeah, so we're going to go through the gear in this case. Normally the GH5 goes in this case as well, goes in here, or along with the Sigma 18-35 and these wireless labs, so that's the only ones are not in here specifically. And the other audio solution that I sometimes use, so mostly for vlogging stuff, mostly for areas where I don't want to necessarily use the lavalier mics, is the, oh, hello, we've just dyed our light, that's exciting. Welcome back ladies and gents, I hope you're well. So I have two audio solutions that I carry around mostly whenever I'm on a shoot, or the gear I use. The Rode Link lavaliers that we just talked about and you're hearing me from, and then this, which is the, let's put it in beautiful focus, there we go, the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. We've had that for a couple of years, and that has been the main staple of all of the vlog audio that you've been seeing. And in regards to lenses, mostly I shoot on Nikon. There's been a lot of questions about Nikon, why I shoot Nikon, how I shoot Nikon. Two reasons. Number one, I'm a timelapse photographer. Nikon's color science is amazing for photos. And number two, the first camera I was ever bought was a Nikon, therefore I invested in lenses. Therefore I own too many lenses for Nikon mount. I will probably eventually go Sony at some point in the future. But next we have lenses. So I talked about the 18-35 f1.8, which is the main lens I shoot on, which you are seeing a lovely view of at the moment. And yeah, so then we have a rather cheaper lens, which is a Nikon 10-20 f 4.5 to 5.6 variable aperture lens. Would never recommend variable aperture lenses, but it's good and cheap and pretty sharp for the price. So it's mainly for wide angle shots. I'm going to upgrade this to the Takina 11-20 f1.8 some point rather soon. Let's just make sure that we're in super sharp focus, that's lovely. Then we also have our telephoto lens that's very, very dirty and needs to be cleaned, but it is a Sigma 70-300 f4.5 to 5.6. Again, another cheap lens. We'll eventually upgrade this to probably the full frame 70-200 f2.8 from Takina. Again, I think there's a Takina one, not 100% sure, but anyway, so we'll be upgrading that at some point soon as well to that lens. The one positive about this lens that's really, really good is it's really cheap and it's quite small and quite light. So I don't really mind, for example, shooting in the rain or etc. with it. So now let's talk camera bodies. These are mostly my photography cameras and or time-lapse cameras and or backup video cameras. So I own 2 of them at the moment. I own a second-hand Nikon 7200, which you can see just here. This is the newest, greatest edition. I got this one secondhand last year when unfortunately my Nikon 5600 died on me. There's a video about in the card if you're interested on how that camera died, but this sensor needs clean, so I'm not using this as much unless it comes to very low aperture shooting, because those of you who do not know, if you shoot on say like an f2 or f2.5 or a f1.5 lens, then you are able to not really see the dirtiness of said sensor. But second lockdown's over, this will be getting its sensor cleaned, and then a backup of a backup and also another time-lapse camera, because it's always good to have multiple time-lapse cameras, is a Nikon D5300, reviews of which will be coming on all of these gear very, very soon. I've got a lot of plans to use the other space for such as reviews and etc. as well. So that's kind of what's in this hard case. The majority of the other stuff, really, I'm just going to close this up so I can show you. And then, you know, it's just basic stuff. We've got 2 levels of neutral density filter on here. These are globe neutral density filters. And the other piece of equipment which I did get last year that I think is pretty cool, I'm just going to show you, so let's bring this up a touch, is the Great Video Makers slider. So this is a motorized slider that we mostly use for time lapses at the moment, but what we will be using it for, and hence why it's here in the office, is the fact that we are, let me just open this up, going to be using it for some motor, some product stuff, also some interview stuff perhaps as well, and then obviously time lapses. Time lapses was the main reason why I bought it, so I'll just grab it out and show you. Voila, like so. So this is the slider itself. It comes with carriage and everything else that you would need. I have an unboxing video. I will also link in the description down below for those who may be interested in that. The only other things, welcome back ladies and gents, so the only other things which I really use on a semi-regular basis is this newer, very cheap tripod. As I said, I will leave links to all of these in the description down below. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. The only bit of gear that I don't actually have with me today, so I can't really show you, but I'll add some images or B-roll over that, is the GlideCam HD 2000 that I've been using for a couple of years, and this is all the gear I use. So I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to leave it with a like, and I'd love to hear what you think in the comment section down below. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Gonna do more videos about gear, but preferably not too much about gear, because gear matters but also doesn't matter, because you need to tell stories and captivating bits of content, and your content needs to be good. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you very soon.